Hello, thank you for joining. Welcome to MILF Ministry podcast, where we explore self love, healing, and intimacy. You can join the discussion by following at MILF Ministry on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. My name is Ayodele Vassal. I'm an attorney, a creative, and a MILF. I live in Los Angeles, California, and this podcast is really about we're going to explore some of my personal stories. We're going to explore things that I do to help kind of balance my energy. Like I said, we're focusing on self-love, healing, and when I say intimacy, it's really about my journey to be comfortable with the concept of being intimate again. So let's get into the next episode. So this next episode, we're going to talk about healthy ways to de-stress and ways that you can kind of shift your energy from mom mode to MILF mode. And what do I mean by that? What's mom mode? Mom mode is taking care of the children. Like, did you brush your teeth? Did you do your homework? Do you have a headache? Why is your stomach hurting? What's wrong? This, that. To MILF mode, which is, we all know what MILF stands for. Mom, I'd like to fuck, from the very famous American Pie movie. And it's really about you sitting in your divine feminine energy and you being ready to be intimate and enjoy the intimacy. Not really about anyone's desire for you. It's about you sitting in that power and that energy and you getting yourself ready so that you can have a good time. Because I'm here for us and our happy endings, women. So I want to talk to you about some simple things that I do that are very, very inexpensive that help me de-stress. We'll start with the de-stressing, and then we'll move on to how I use things to kind of shift my energy in a very, very simple manner. So there's some simple things I use. Palo Santos, sage, frankincense, copal. These are things that I use to cleanse, like literally spiritually cleanse the energy of my space. So when I come home from work, I'm either burning sage, Palo Santos, almost every day religiously before I entertain friends, not even just for sex, but before I entertain people at my home, I'm doing the same thing. And definitely before I entertain someone for sex, I'm making sure that I kind of spiritually cleanse the space and shift my energy. People, you have a lot of things that happen in the outside world. Anxiety, stress, insecurity, fear. They're things that you deal with on a daily basis that as a woman and a mother on top of that, kind of disrupt you getting to where you need to be in a mental and emotional place so that you can enjoy yourself. So like I said, these are things that I use when I come home from work to just de-stress. Sometimes I do it in the morning when I wake up. I'll burn sage, I'll burn Palo Santos to just kind of center my energy, ground myself for the day. Another thing that I like to do are baths and sugar scrubs. So you can use salt, regular Epsom salt from the store. I like lavender scented salt. But you can get pink Himalayan salt. You can get Dead Sea salt. Salt is very cleansing. It pulls a lot of toxins from your body. And just the act of physically submerging yourself in warm water can be a very, very soothing and de-stressing experience. I know what you're thinking. You're talking to me, the mom. I don't have time to sit down in the bathtub for 20 minutes every night. Guess what? Neither do I. I'm not doing this every night. But we're just talking about things that you can do to de-stress. So even if it's just once a month, or you do this because like, I want to get ready to have sex this night. So you do this, like, this is a part of your ritual, so to speak, to get ready to, like, I need to de-stress and declutter my mind for the night. And with me, it's not always about sex. Sometimes there are times where I just want to kind of activate my feminine energy, my power, because I may be going out. And it's not about I'm going to have sex. I just want to sit in that energy. So these are things that I do, like I said, to de-stress and sit in that energy. So taking just a warm bath, soaking away your issues of the day, like I said, with dead salt, Epsom salt, pink Himalayan salt. I prefer the lavender. These are things that are very, very helpful. Scents can be very soothing. Scents can tie into your sensory memory. So if there's scents that I remember from high school that are very pleasing to me, like plumeria. That's a perfume I used to wear a lot. Like I said, lavender is very soothing. You've heard me say that repeatedly because I clearly love it. There's a store here that's popular in Los Angeles that sells this scent called pink sugar. So when I know that I'm getting ready to have sex, that is like one of the fragrances that I go to, because I usually have multiple happy endings when that fragrance is burning, and my mind remembers that, my spirit remembers that. So once I light that up, there are times where I'm just already de-stressed and already feeling better because I'm starting to smell that fragrance that has great memories connected with that. So once again, everything's not about sex. You can just have scents that you like that lift your mood. So for me, as I've said before, lavender just lifts my mood. So if I've had a tough day at work and I'm going to lay down and go to sleep, I may just light a candle and drop a little bit of lavender in there to kind of change my energy and shift the mood. Even when you take your bath, you make sure that it's safe for your skin, but you can find some lavender or find a scent that you like. And on top of the salts that you put down there, you can drop just a touch of your favorite scent to shift your energy for whatever it is you need. It could be to sit in your feminine energy. It could be you want to get ready to have sex. It could be you just want to de-stress for the day and have a good night. So just remember the power of scents. The next thing that really, really, really helped me de-stress was my discovery of this poet, Naira Waheed. Her poetry is so beautiful that I just really can't put into words. The two books that I have access to are Salt and Nejma. You can find her on Instagram. You can find her on Facebook. Her books are available on Amazon. And her poetry touches on almost any aspect of life, love, lust, fear, hurt, anything that you can think of, any emotion that you have ever felt in your life. She has a poem that touches on that. And one of the reasons why it was helpful to me and healthy to me and de-stressing to me is because when you read her poetry, it's almost like she's touching elements of your soul. She's altering your DNA. She's affirming, okay, yes, you had this fear, or yes, you went through this loss, or yes, you have these lustful thoughts. And she's saying, it's okay. I hear you. I see you. I feel you. And so it was kind of nice to have a mirror, so to speak, and a safe place that was private for your emotions to flow, where you're reading her poetry and you're like, wow, I had a love affair like that. Or wow, she has a poem where she talks about if the ocean can calm itself, then so can you. We're both made of salt and water, talking about the physical composition of the ocean, talking about the physical composition of us as human beings. And that one always sticks with me, and forgive me if I'm misquoting it, but it sticks with me because it, as a woman, right, there are many different fires that you have to put out on a daily basis when it comes to balancing motherhood and balancing anything else that you have to do, whether you are a stay-at-home mom, an entrepreneur mom, a mom that, works in corporate America, a mom that's an artist, a mom that, just works a quote-unquote regular 9 to 5, whatever that is. There are many, many different things that you have to go through in that day. So it's really, really, really nice to, like I said, almost feel like you have a sister that's like, oh no, I see you, I recognize you, I affirm you. And I just found a lot of healing. I would read her poetry and cry. I would read her poetry and I would write about how it made me feel. And I remember my friends were saying, "Well, Ayo, are you writing poetry now?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not a poet, but this is the emotion, or these are the words that her poetry literally drew out of my spirit." So once again, for me, poetry was a place where I could de-stress because it was a place where I felt acknowledged and it was a safe place to allow my emotions to flow. Another place where I found healing and an opportunity to de-stress was art. One artist that really, really, really struck me at my core because of how she interacts with feminine energy is Lena Iris Victor. I hope I'm pronouncing her name properly. You can find her on Instagram, on Facebook. Um, and she explores just the beauty of feminine energy. Um, and when I look at her pictures, I think, oh my goodness, like this is me. Like if I was art, this is how I feel, or this is how I would look, or this is how I would move. And so once again, for me, it's helpful to de-stress in a way where I feel like I'm either being acknowledged or affirmed, or my emotions can flow, or just looking at something beautiful, looking at something that's truly and purely beautiful and getting lost in that. So she plays with color. She plays with the color blue, the color gold, the color black, and she just marries them in the most awesome, awesome way. And now we can shift to my most favorite way to to change gears from mom mode to MILF mode, and that's with music. Music is literally my life. It's one of my favorite things in the world. I love the sound of music. I love the lyrics. Anyone that spends half a day with me knows how much I love music. One of my favorite things to do is African dance. You do African dance with live drumming, and there's a beautiful synergy between the music that's being played and the energy that the dancer is giving. There's this beautiful marriage. And even when I'm just listening to music by itself, you listen to a song, and a certain part of the song will hit you with something that you're going through in your life, or it will literally just soothe you. So we're talking about healthy ways to de-stress. And I have a whole playlist. I have my adult fun playlist where we really don't have to do too much talking, because when these songs come on, you already know where I'm going you already know where the night is going. You already know. So some of my favorite songs are like Her, Say It Again. Do yourself a favor, listen to those lyrics. She tells you what to do with him. She tells you how to talk to him, and she tells you what she wants. So if you ever have trouble articulating what your needs are, or having trouble making that mental shift, her music, especially that song Say It Again, will help you make the transition. Another one of my favorite songs is Tank, Sexy. And that song, he says some of the simplest things. I've been thinking about you all day. Thinking about you feels like foreplay. As a woman, hearing that the thought of me has you excited, it's kind of easy to make that shift from mom to MILF mode. You get what I'm saying? So just, like I said, taking the power of those lyrics, and you're like, oh, okay. All right. I have someone in my life that the thought of me, is like foreplay to him or her, and you say, okay, I can kind of make that shift. I can make that transition. I'm ready to like push these stresses of the day away, push all the stresses of motherhood away, and really sit and focus on myself and my own pleasure so I can get to my happy ending. And like I said, my relationship with music is really, really deep. It's really, really special. Because I think about the time I literally fall in love with songs. Like I remember falling in love with Her, Facts, a year ago to this day, August 2017. And I remember talking about it a year later, like listening to it, like, I remember when I fell in love with this song. Like that's how my relationship with music is. But I say all that to say that music is literally my favorite way to make that transition. When we go on social media, I'll share with you my playlist. I want to really hear what you think about my playlist. And I obviously would love to hear your playlist. Like, you can tell me, like, ooh, you think this is good. Wait till you hear these 3 songs that I like. These are like my favorite songs to go to when it's my time to make that transition. And also, it would be nice to hear people talk to me about other things they may use. Like, maybe they use meditation, or you use yoga, or you use crystals. There are many different things you can use to shift your energy. So it would be nice for us to have a discussion about things that you use when it's time for you to make that transition from mom mode to MILF mode. So thanks for listening to this episode. I really, 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 really hope that you enjoyed this episode of MILF Ministry Podcast. If you enjoyed our discussion about healthy ways to de-stress, please feel free to share this episode with family and friends. Once again, my name is Ayodele Vassal. I'm an attorney, I'm a creative, and I'm a MILF. And you can join this discussion by following @MILF Ministry on Instagram, on Facebook, and Twitter. Thank you so much for listening.